So I think the most important part of your fitness journey is going to be meal prepping and what do you eat. The most important thing to remember is that you're not going to be able to get your results unless you're having the proper meals to go with it. So you can train as hard as you can, but if you're eating like crap and you're eating burgers after burgers and a lot of carb intake and not as much protein intake, then you're not going to get the results. And so something that I really was interested in was, what do they eat? When I would see fitness models on Instagram and I'd follow all these people that was kind of a role model to me, I would always direct message them and I'd say, you know, what are you having? What are you doing? And I noticed that all the ones that I really followed were all doing flexible dieting. And that's really something that I truly believe in. I don't believe in the high fats diet, the keto. I mean, everyone has their own way of doing things. I think it is a good one if you're maybe having a disease like PCOS or diabetic where you can't process those kind of carbs. But for the most part, for me, I do flexible dieting. And so that's kind of what I want to talk to you about. And that's what I wanted to really show you because I think that's the most important part. And that's what everyone has huge questions on is what do you eat and how do you get those results? So I wanted to take you through an easy way to meal prep. And if you're like me, I'm really, really busy. So when I was doing my first show, I was a full-time student going to college, getting my bachelor's degree. I was a full-time hairdresser at the time. And so I was a stylist and I had to do homework and everything. And maybe you have kids. So everyone's busy and there's no excuse. We can all meal prep and we can all stay healthy. So this is a really quick way to keep consistent. It depends on really what you're looking for to get. So there's two ways of doing things. There's a way to do it quickly and then there's a way to do it inexpensively. So if you want to do it quick, it's going to be maybe a little bit more expensive for you. You can get the bags of rice that are 90 seconds. You can grab them on the go, take them wherever you are, and then just microwave them. So when I was going to school, I would just find a microwave at the school and I would microwave my rice. And then I like to get chicken that's already pre-chopped. So if you're really looking for speed, you get it pre-chopped. It's a little more expensive, but you can also do it inexpensively if you buy the whole chicken, chop it up yourself. I really like to use grapeseed oil, so that's a 0% fat. I like to do high protein, low fats, higher carbs. So this keeps your fats a little bit lower. And when you're doing, say, eggs in the morning, you can spray the pan and it's non-stick, 0 calories. So I got my chicken, I got some of my veggies that are already pre-cut. I'm gonna cut up some broccoli and we're gonna roast them in olive oil. We're gonna just place them on the sheet. You're gonna put parchment paper on top of it, on top of your pan. Get a really large pan so that way you can just roast all your vegetables all at once. We're gonna be putting the oven on 400 degrees and we're gonna be cooking it for about 20 minutes. You can really pick any of the vegetables that you like. I really like broccoli, I like Brussels sprouts, I like carrots. So that's what I'm doing today. I would stick more to your greens because greens is what's gonna keep you filled and it's gonna have the less carbs. So we're gonna make sure we put all the vegetables on there and then we're gonna cover it in olive oil. It's gonna give it a nice roast. It'll kind of caramelize all of the vegetables. It tastes really, really good and very easy. want to make sure all the vegetables are covered pretty good on the bottom. And then we're going to pop that in for 20 minutes. All right, so while your vegetables are roasting, we're gonna cook our meats. We don't have to worry about the rice because we got this 90-second rice, which is great. So it cuts half the time. You can also use a rice cooker. I really prefer that. If you're staying home and you're not on the go, just pop it in the rice cooker and it does it for you. So really all you're worried about is the meat. You always wanna think about proteins, carbs, and fats. There are three main ways to get your macros in. And so when you're putting your meals together, you want to think your protein. So you want to do a lean protein. You want to do either chicken, and you don't want to do chicken thighs. That's a little bit fattier of a meat. So you want to do chicken breast. You want to do lean ground beef, anything in the 90% or high, in the 90%. So 93% or higher. You also can do turkey meat, ground beef, steak, anything that's a leaner cut of meat. I like flank steak, that's really good, and that's probably the leanest you can get. So on this one, we're gonna use the grapeseed oil. It's the non-stick spray, it's really easy. We got our chicken cut up already, so we're gonna go ahead and put that in there. So it's important to remember that everybody's meal prep is going to look a little different. So I highly recommend that you eat things that you like to eat, or else you're not going to eat the meal preps and you're going to go chasing all the other food. Usually I like to meal prep for around 2 to 3 days, and then I like to recook. That's just because I don't really like eating stuff that's 7 days old. It's just a mind thing for me. So whatever works for you, you do that. You just have to make sure that you're prepared, so that way you're not going and grabbing something that's quick and easy to do. You have your foods available and ready, and you don't want to waste money, right? So go ahead and grab the healthy food instead of that. If you're on the go, there is also things that, salads and go, and there's ways to go to just Fry's or any kind of grocery store and grab those quick meals that you can microwave. So there's several ways to do it. I like to do about 3 days worth of food. I also eat about 5 meals a day when I'm prepping for a show. And when I'm not prepping for a show, I do maybe 3 to 4 meals, and I do them a little bit bigger meals. So it depends what you're doing. Are you bulking? Are you trying to lean out? Are you trying to maintain? You're gonna have different meal preps for that. When I'm not doing a show, I like to put sauces on it. So if I'm doing a show, I don't primarily do a lot of sauces. If I do sauces, they're gonna be 0 calories. So I use a lot of lemon juice with salt, pepper, those kind of things to make the food tasty. When I'm not doing a show, I like to use sauces. And so I find sauces that have a little bit lower calories in it. So I always look at the back of the nutrition facts. So when I'm grabbing something, yeah, it looks good, but I'm gonna be comparing them, which sauce is the best for the calorie intake. And you always wanna look at the servings per container, because it could look good and then there's like 10 servings in it, and then you just added a whole lot of calories. So make sure you're comparing what you're having and what you're putting on your food. You can go for sauces, but I highly do not recommend adding a lot of sauce. Keep it simple when you're doing a fitness show. So today I found a nut cheese Alfredo sauce. It's gluten-free, it's dairy-free, so that's what I'm gonna put on my chicken today. So if you're craving some snacks, I really like to eat rice cakes. I get caramel rice cakes, chocolate rice cakes. I also put some peanut butter on it or almond butter. The whipped peanut butter is really good and it's a little bit lower calories. So always remember when you're eating any kind of food, it's not exactly eating 100% clean. You can eat still the foods that you love. So 20% of your food can really be those burgers, those pizzas. I really love pizza, so I always go for pizza. And that's okay because 80% of the time you're eating pretty good. And it's all about the calories, the calorie intake. It's all about your macros, so having enough protein in each day to supplement for what your muscles need to grow. And some myths that people think is, okay, I gotta eat no carbs and then I can lose a bunch of weight and just do a bunch of cardio, but that's not the thing. You can still eat carbs and lose weight. I ate carbs my entire show prep. I mean, up to the very end. I didn't go on a crazy low carb diet. It's called calorie deficit. So basically what that means is, so you have a minimum amount of calories that your body needs to function and for the organs to function. And without you doing any kind of exercise or anything, you have a certain calorie intake that your body has as your metabolism. So when you're in a calorie deficit, you're going below that calorie, and that's why you're gonna start losing that weight. If you go above that calorie intake, then you're gonna be gaining weight, gaining muscle. So really use foods as your fuel. Use it to do what you want it to do. So if you want to gain weight, I wanted to gain weight. I was 90 pounds, I needed to gain muscle. You can do that. Or if you want to lose weight, you can do that too. So look at what you're really wanting and figure out what your results that you want are, and then you can always direct message me and I can always give you some inside tips on how to do that. So a couple of tips for you that I've learned throughout meal prepping. I used to take hours in the kitchen meal prepping all of Sunday, and you really don't need to. So one of the tools that I use that has literally transformed my meal prepping is the Instant Pot, which I was extremely scared to do. It's kind of like a pressure cooker and a crock pot all in one, but you can cook your meats in literally 10 minutes on this thing. So it's amazing. Also, your rice cooker is definitely a good tool to have. Just place your rice in there, it cooks. You don't even need to watch it, so it comes out perfect. I really like to talk about supplements because I think people throw at you supplements after supplements and you really don't know what you need to take and what you don't need to take. For a show, or even just if you're not doing a show and you just want to shred up, I always go to L-carnitine. L-carnitine will help you burn the fat. It'll give you some energy. I take it in the morning, first thing in the morning. I also take it right before my workout and it really makes you kind of sweat a lot more. I also take CLA. CLA is also kind of more of a natural fat burner. I don't take fat burners, so I really stick to the CLA to get that naturally. I just don't like how fat burners make me feel, so that's why I don't go to them. You want muscle recovery, so you want to go to BCAAs. That'll help with your soreness, especially if you are working out 6 days a week like I do. You want to be drinking your BCAAs. These are amino acids that go straight to your muscles to help with recovery. If you're looking to build more muscle, then I would say creatine is good to get that pump, to get the water into your muscles, get you a little bit stronger, and then you can taper off of this once you're trying to lean out. And the most important part is your protein. I really like Plant Fusion. I like their protein shakes. They are plant-based, dairy-free, gluten-free, free of everything. And since I have celiac disease, I'm very limited on the products that I can use. And so if you are looking for a plant-based, this is really good because it's more watery, not so thick. The consistency of it is really good. And you can also get whey protein, you can get pea protein, you can get carnivore, that's more of a meat protein. So whichever you prefer you definitely want to get your protein in, but you also want to look at the back of it as well, because some of it have high in carbs. So if you're just looking for that protein but no carb intake, then you really got to make sure that that doesn't have a high carbs. If you're looking to gain muscle and gain a lot of weight, then you want to look for a protein that has a gainer, which would have high carbs. So again, think about the results you want and then look at how you want to personalize your plan. So it's important that you get a good set of containers. They're going to be your go-to for putting your meal preps in them and taking them on the go. Also a good lunchbox to keep them cold. You can get a 6-pack, I really like those, or just a basic lunchbox that can keep at least 3 or 4 meals in them. So we got our rice all done in 90 seconds. And now you're gonna have to weigh it all out. So you wanna make sure that you're weighing them out, because in each week, if you're having a different amount of carbs or a different amount of fats, you're gonna get different results. So if you're not keeping a consistency on them, it's really important that you track it, and that way each week, if you see that you're losing a little bit too much weight, then you up it a little, or if you're gaining a little too much weight, then you lower it. So that's the way you can really tell that your meals are working. Good. All right, and voila, you got your meal prep all done. You got your chicken, your rice, your veggies, really good, really tasty, and you're all set for your week. So you always have to remember that this is a lifestyle, not a diet. Whenever you think about it being a diet, you're gonna fail. So make sure that you think about this is gonna be a lifetime commitment, lifetime eating. It's just, this is how you naturally eat. You look things up on the back of the containers, you look for the nutrition facts, and that's it. So just keep consistent on it, and consistency is key to results. To make things a little bit easier, I also do my protein shakes. So I do 3 meals and then 2 protein shakes a day. So really you're only cooking 3 meals. My morning is just eggs and some toast, so it's super easy. And then my protein shake, 2 more containers like this, and then another protein shake. Really easy, anyone can do it, and so can you.